So thank you, Davyne, for jumping in and sharing your technical expertise on this issue today. We're going to talk about um, remote broadcasting for live events, and there's lots of options for this, which is nice. And we will also have, I think, Sharon and John in a couple weeks. They'll share their approaches too. So we'll get a whole good crowdsourced feel about it. And today, Davyne is gonna share hers. So I'll give it over to you, Davyne.
Thank you. So had been live streaming since like 2010 and was not associated with the radio station. I was just doing it for the community, for candidate forums, city council meetings, town halls, and that sort of thing. So when I became manager of the radio station, not long after I started learning what to do here, we did incorporate live video, live streaming to social media into certain broadcasts, mostly live musicians or DJ shows coming in with live musicians coming in. Then I happened to get this little camera here, which is a Mevo camera. I've got on a tripod, it's a little high, that I would take out and use to do certain events, because this camera is a handy little camera, and it's 4K, and it's made so that it would live stream pretty easily. But the easiest thing to do is with an iPhone or a smartphone and a little mic that connects to that smartphone. This is a Shure MV 88, and it runs about $150. It's got program or an application that you can download onto your phone so that you can make adjustments to the environment. It's a directional mic, and it will change like that. So if you had it in your phone and you wanted to just pick up yourself, you could turn it that way, and then you could turn it that way, and it's going to pick up more ambient noise from around,
Cool.
just directed to you. And as I said, it's got a application that you can use on your phone to tighten things up or broaden things out for what you're trying to record. When you go out remotely, and I think that's basically what we're wanting to talk about here. Is that correct, Stephanie?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so when you go out to do remote, you're always under a challenging position. You can't control the size of the room. You can't control if they have Wi-Fi or not. And if they do have Wi-Fi, it's going to be sketchy, maybe. And when you're streaming to YouTube or any other way, you don't want your signal dropping off. So I always have a backup Wi-Fi, which is my Verizon MiFi, which is a little cellular card that works to capture Wi-Fi, and I connect my devices that I'm using to live stream to that little MiFi. And I get the highest power that I can get, or the most bandwidth that I can get for that. And I've never had a signal drop off because of that.
Is that complicated to set up?
Not at all. No. I don't have it with me, but you can go to Verizon or something comparable would be from any of the other ones. And it's just a little cellular USB device that plugs into your computer. And use that to go out to the world. So I'll be happy to address any questions if anybody has any while this is going on.
Okay, I thought of another one.
Go ahead.
How much does that little microphone cost?
So this is 150. It's a 149, and there's another one very similar to it that I got both because I wanted to see which one I liked better. And the way I found this one is I keyed in iPhone quality mic or words to that effect, and these two came up. So I tried both of them. I tend to like this little MV88 better than the other one that I bought. And so other Androids or iPads or tablets, you should be able to find something comparable because, you know, the world has changed so much because we're able to do all of this. There's bound to be, I'm a Mac person, so I always look for Mac stuff, but I know Android and other phones would have something similar to do the same thing. And when you're live streaming with your phone, I generally have a little tripod that I use, and that works very well. Stephanie, can I share a screen?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, so let me share the video of hold on a second.
You'll be able to fill in and give some face. You're going to want to be facing it. And the members of the Interdenominational Ministerial Alliance, the Baptist Ministerial Union, and the Mud Creek Missionary Baptist Association. My name is John Grant, and I'm speaking this morning on behalf of the Interdenominational Ministerial Alliance, the president, the Reverend Gary McDaniel.
So that was with my iPhone and this little guy. And you could see, you know, I was picking up street traffic, but that was still a very popular video that I did. And had I been more, I failed to look at the application that I had on my phone to make the audio better. I probably could have had better audio than I had. But even so, it was still an okay presentation.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hear any like wind or anything. Marcus, you had a question?
Yeah, well, I guess one other thing was that video you showed us, did you live stream that on air or just like on the
Well,
radio?
if I would have had someone at the station
Okay.
to pull that up, because you can do that if I were
Yeah, you could.
yeah, so I would either pull up the Facebook page that I was streaming to on that day, or sometimes you can live stream straight to YouTube. Either one of those, whatever platform I'm streaming to, you can pull that in, pull down the fader of your live broadcast or your automation, and click play for the video, and that'll go out on the air.
Yeah, that makes total sense, actually. Well, my original question though was, do you know if well how comparable a phone's Wi-Fi hotspot would be compared to the MiFi hotspot?
I would try it and see, but I'm always prepared to fall back on that little MiFi device.
Okay.
I mean, it certainly is worth a try.
All right, cool. Thank you.
So, and then the other video that I have to show you is a room sitting. It's a sheriff's political forum, and it, let me pull it up again. It was a lot of echoey room noise, and the I'm trying to find my video again while I'm talking. So this is an example of, even though we had a really decent shotgun mic, the audio here is echoey because of the room, and that goes back to the sketchiness of just being at the mercy of what a room is like. So I'm going to click share again.
Each candidate be given 2 minutes for a closing statement. In the process, how will you ensure your duties to serve summonses
in the past? So we need to be very diligent in that, make sure proper legal process is followed.
At some point in time has to come into the courthouse for some reason. That's why it's extremely important that our deputies make sure that have to be put together.
Zoom here. So you can see when they got closer to the mic, it was a little less hollow. So if possible, maybe even be able to move around a little bit so that you're closer in front of whoever's speaking if it's a forum like that. And on that one, I did use the Mevo camera here instead of let me move over here, instead of my phone. And this one attaches to attaches with Wi-Fi to to my device. I was using a pad that day, and on my pad I can also connect it to a computer that I had there, and the computer had the little MiFi cellular card with it, and that's how I did that. And because I had my computer there, if I wanted to, I could remotely go into the station and play that live stream at the station. And this is they've got a new generation of Mevo camera now. This is about a $600 setup. And so that's the next level up for if you want to be able to do Wi-Fi or live streaming. It will bounce from person to person. You can program it to zero in when a person is talking. It'll automatically move to that. It'll sense that someone's talking and it'll bounce to that person. So it looks like you have more than one camera in the studio, and it's a very handy little device. And that one we can connect it to, when it's live in the station, we can connect it to our soundboard using an interface called an iRig, so that it picks up the audio from the board.
Can you also connect it to that little microphone when you're going out places? Or do you use something, you just use?
Well, I could have had this on the iPad, but what we did have was a shotgun mic that a friend was doing this one with me, and he had a shotgun mic that we were using. So you could do either one.
Okay.
So that's my simple, easy that's how you can do some remote broadcasting.
Yeah, I've gotten to use, I remember Davyne has talked about this, the Mevo before, and we got to use it for when we had the election primaries, and it was really cool how you can have the wide shot and then it looks like it's zooming in on each person, and it just you can do it automatically or manually. You can touch on the screen and make it go to a person, or it will just go by who's talking. It's pretty cool.
It is cool. So someone asked a question about the details of the iRig, and it's an XLR connection. And then on the other end will plug into your device. And so we have an XLR cable from our headphone distributor. So we run the headphone distributor, we run a cable that will connect into the iRig on the broadcast console, and it'll pick up whatever's in the headphones, whatever's people are hearing in the studio in the headphones is the same thing that's going out on the stream because of the connection, the interfacing with the iRig.
Does anyone else have any questions at this point about the microphone that you can hook up to your phone or the Mevo camera?
Did I answer Fred Portnoy's question?
Yes, I think so. Does that once you come out of your headphone amplifier, then the other end, are you plugging into your phone?
Into the phone, or so with the Mevo here, you use a phone or a pad. That's the kind of the boss of the Mevo, and the iRig connects to the phone or the iPad with an audio cable. So it's got iRig coming in on one end of the iRig, a XLR connection coming in from the headphone distributor.
Yeah.
And then on the other end, a TRRS connection into an Apple device.
Something like that, are you aware is available for smartphone or other?
Well, yeah, for Androids, I'm pretty sure something similar. I'm pretty sure the iRig would go with either one. It's just on the Mac, you have to have a TRRS connection versus just a TRS connection, because you need Macs have that extra little some sort of input for audio
For a microphone.
that Androids do not have.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Marcus.
I was just wondering if there's a way in which the person that's remote can communicate while live streaming to the person that would be in a studio behind a microphone.
Well, you could probably call in. What do you think? If you had a second phone.
Yeah.
Or text. I think you could text each other even though you were using the phone for something else.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. I'm not tried it.
Okay.
Because I'm been kind of a one-woman operation whenever I've done these live streams. And I do know that if I'm running it through a computer like I did at the sheriff's forum, then I'm able to go in remotely to our broadcast computer and click on wherever I'm streaming and play it.
Okay. Cool.
Hey, Joseph.
Any other questions? I'm curious if what other people here have tried for remote live broadcast that have you've liked or not liked?
We do our trouble. Can you hear me? I can't hear myself. My
Yeah.
headphones. I don't know why. Okay. We do a live stream from my tribal council chambers, so we broadcast live their meetings, and that we use a brick on that, and we have Comrex that hooks into our Comrex, and that hooks into the board and broadcasts. So all the microphones go into a mixing board that's stationary there, and they also do a Zoom broadcast, so we can plug right into that. So we don't have anything as far as doing video and audio, a multimedia. We haven't really ventured into that yet. We're still doing audio. Although I did purchase a Beast grip, which I put my phone into. And then
A Beast? What is that?
Beast grip.
Oh, okay.
And I got a Rode microphone, which is handy about this microphone is that it's a shotgun microphone, only it picks up more from the front end and less from the back end. So this actually works better than my Sennheiser shotgun.
Nice. What brand is that?
The Rode, RODE.
Oh, Rode. Okay, yeah. Cool.
I've seen some other people who do videos with their cameras, and they have Rodes as well for the same reason.
So
That's my input.
one more thing I forgot to mention is if you're using a phone, I told you I had this guy on a tripod, but there's a device called a gimbal that you can be walking around and it keeps everything perfectly level. It's got a gyroscope in there, and it makes a very smooth live stream. We had a guy live streaming all of the protests that we had here last summer in Asheville, and he used a gimbal the whole time. So,
Cool.
Joseph, did I interrupt you there? I'm sorry, Joseph.
Could you put that in the chat?
The gimbal?
Yeah.
Is that something you wear, or is it something?
No, it's like a tripod, except more advanced than a tripod, because it's got a gyroscope in there, and when you're walking, it'll stay level.
That's really cool.
I think it's GIMBEL or OL, one of the two.
AL.
GIMBAL? Yeah. Gimbal, GIMBAL.
Nice.
And it gives a great smooth picture when you're live streaming.
That's really
Yeah,
cool.
it's very cool. And, and my guess is, since all this is so popular with people, more things are going to be coming out that make it even better to live stream an event. I know hopefully the next phone that I get will be more advanced as far as a good picture is concerned, because I'm on a computer right now. I'm on my new Mac computer, and because of all the zooming that we did last year, they have greatly upgraded their camera and mic coming into this new computer because of virtual interviews. So I anticipate more improvements.
So are you coming to us like 4K right now?
I think so. When I see myself here, the picture is so clear. It's incredible.
Oh, it looks good.
The resolution is excellent.
That's right, because you're always going for the top of the line, the new thing, aren't
I'm an addict.
you? Do you stand in long lines?
No, I order. I order
Oh.
online. I don't stand in lines for my addictive devices. It's bad enough that I'm addicted. So the thing is, it's not that hard to do at all. And, even with people's phones that they have now, you can capture the action and put it out there, add it to your radio station, or share it to your Facebook or social media pages.
Well, thanks, Davyne. This was awesome. It's always good to get reminders too on how this stuff works, even though I know I've heard it before, but I always pick up something new. And I appreciate
Yeah, but also, everybody's been kind of out of commission for a year and a half, and
Right.
there's a certain amount of relearning that you have to do.
Right.
Kind of like cooking. If you don't cook for a while, you forget how to cook. You burn everything.
Hopefully it won't burn up your computer. That would really suck.
That would be hell.
Any other thoughts from the gang?
But can we pivot if we don't have anything to the vote of Pacifica?
Oh yeah. It's basically the new day campaign didn't go through. I'll see if Ursula's ready yet to come join us. She's still finishing up with something. Is there any other things that we want to discuss? We can put that on hold until Ursula's back.
I had a question I wanted to ask and put out there to other folks in this position or of job.
Yeah.
So I've been like getting new volunteers and interviewing them. How do you handle it, or what's your approach when the volunteer does not listen to your station? Or the one person that wants to volunteer?
Good question.
Kind of a weird situation. Because you're a community station, but at the same time, it's like you don't really know our mission or anything like that.
Has anyone had this situation? Joseph?
I would ask if volunteers, how does what they want to contribute match our mission? Do they at least know your mission of your station?
Well, no, because they don't listen to it.
Well, then I wouldn't. So that scratches them off my list. I mean, why would you go to work someplace not knowing what the heck they do?
Right.
Even if you're volunteering.
Yeah, I'm torn on it, honestly.
Did they describe to you what they are interested in doing?
Well, some of them, it's like we'll go. They're kind of like, I don't know, I just want to help out. And I'd ask why, and then it kind of doesn't go anywhere. Or ask them like, what kind of music you like, because we play anything but top 40, and then usually they'll say something like top 40. I think they have it in their heads that like they don't understand how radically different non-commercial and commercial radios are, for the most part, at least in some aspects.
So you've had this happen more than once.
Yeah, like twice last week. Yeah.
Davyne,
Those are good topics. And we were just reached by email by a potential volunteer, so it's very timely. And we don't have like 2 in the same week. But I would ask the same question about board members who don't listen to the station.
Ooh,
Don't have that problem,
Higgins.
luckily.
Davyne.
So I just kind of assume that nobody's listening when they come in, so that I'm not disappointed. So I don't know. I think we do have some of our volunteers that do listen at least to their show. I know we have 3 of our board members that listen to the show, because my husband here, I've guilted him into listening because it's the least that you can do to help the station. And I don't have to be the mother hen all the time. So you need to do your part and listen to the station and let me know if we're off the air. That's your job. But so we have some younger people coming in, and they say they don't even know how to turn the knob on of a radio. Because now the way that they listen to audio is mostly through their devices. And so there's, they don't even, a lot of them, this one intern that we have, she says, a lot of my friends, they don't even know what a radio is. So there's that. So we are on other platforms like Alexa, and we have an app for iTunes and Google Play. We're on an app that I can play the radio through my smart TV, so that I pick up the radio station through a stream. And I have that on my web, and we have that on the website that, hey, there are many ways to listen, not just through the analog file.
And I guess that brings me to another question I have that maybe y'all could help me with is, what do I have to do to get my station on TuneIn aside from filling out a form? Is there more to it than that? Because their customer service seems hard to get a hold of.
They stopped adding new stations.
Oh.
That's the problem. Apparently they got, I remember reading it recently that someone was asking the same thing. And I think for some reason they stopped adding, but I think there are others that you can try.
Yeah.
They also sent out a letter to the stations that they were playing to make sure that we were had an account with Sound Exchange. So we kind of had to prove that we had a Sound Exchange account.
Have any of you guys ever done a thing where if someone comes up, and they've never listened, and you would like give them homework and say, well, listen to this station and see what shows you like, and then tell me why you like those shows? Does that sound weird? Or what do you guys think of that?
I was thinking of doing something like that, like listen to our station for 2 days and then tell me what you think. But at the same time, I think I could see it as another way to bring listeners in. If they're going to come in, they might have their friends listening to them while they're on air, or promote themselves at least, which in a roundabout way is kind of promoting the station.
Right. And if they did like 1 or 2 of the shows, then you could see what resonates with them and how they might connect with your mission. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see next week. I had people who can't call me today, so next week we'll get some more folk in, hopefully, and maybe if that comes along. The ideal thing is, I don't know what's ideal, to be honest, at this point.
It seems worthwhile to try different things.
Yeah, pretty much at that.
What works for one station might be something else that works for another station.
Yeah. It feels in the past no one's really tried much anything at the station, so we're pretty open to experiment, so that's pretty cool at least. I'm got a really supportive board.
How do you reach out to try to attract new volunteers?
I do it through Facebook. You can do a job posting, but as a volunteer posting, they kind of go in the same thing. That's what I've been doing. That's the only thing I've done really, and also, make messages on the air for people who are listening to send me an email. Or sometimes people just kind of show up at our door too. We got a lot of new people moving into town from. We're like one of those towns that's kind of like the liberal oasis between all the other places in rural New Mexico. So we kind of attract those that kind of crowd you'd imagine that would come from California or Colorado or Arizona. So yeah, they kind of come to us sometimes. It's actually a good problem to have and surprising with how small our population is.
I see, Fred, you typed in Radio Garden. That's like comparable to TuneIn?
It's a lot of fun. It has stations all over the world, and
Oh,
I
that's
think
cool.
we are on that one.
you are, yeah, we're on that one, and I sometimes wonder if we don't get lost on there. But when I was just scanning around on there one time, I found a streaming source that wasn't on the air, but a streaming station that was coming from the town I live in, and I had no idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
That's fun.
that question about getting people to listen to let me know if we're on the air or not. I live outside our coverage area, and I had an antenna that was working until the leaves came out on the trees, and then I stopped getting over the air signal at home. Unless I go out to my car, it's got a better radio, but
Oh, that's frustrating. The leaves come on, it doesn't work anymore.
so I checked the stream. I can log in remotely and check that things are going on from the station point of view, but if something happened at the transmitter, I wouldn't know about it till either somebody called me or I was riding around and not hearing it. We had an interesting thing yesterday. One of our guys came into the station and said that he just saw on his display on his car radio, the text display, something called Oz FM while he was listening to our station. And I did some checking and found out that it was coming from St. John's, Newfoundland. Now, we are a northern border state, but not that northern.
Did you have was that Sandy? Are you waving to talk, or are you just?
Yes, because I'm driving. Hey, everyone. I'm driving and I can't figure out where the raise hand feature is safely. So I had two things. And hi, everyone. I came in late. One was I was wondering. And we give volunteers for volunteer match also as the option. But when you were mentioning off air, we're still keeping the log that says anytime we go off air. We still have to keep that, right? Are people keeping those kind of operator logs?
Davyne's nodding her head yes. Other people? Anyone else want to chime in? Joseph's nodding yes. Okay.
Okay. All right. I was hoping we could let that go, but I guess we have to do it. Thank you.
No problem.
Oh, also, I had a
We have
question.
another one, right? Yeah.
Someone mentioned remote login. We've had a lot of trouble with the free version of TeamViewer, and I was just wondering what people are using for remote control of your computers at the studio.
So we're using Chrome. Chrome has a hold on, let me pull it up. Remote desktop that works really well. And you're right, TeamViewer tends to want to get you to pay for your account. And Google Chrome remote interface is free and works really well. But there are others too.
We use one called No Machine, which is reasonably good. Sometimes I have to try 2 or 3 times to get the connection up, but it's
Could you
free.
spell that? What was that again?
Oh, N-O Machine, No Machine.
Okay.
And we do use it by way of a VPN so that hackers are less likely to get in and take over our station.
I don't think we have a VPN. Davyne, do you think a
Yeah.
VPN is necessary with Chrome?
Well, we've got our technical guy has set up our our network in the station so that it's secure, and also our ISP provider did the same thing.
Oh, so we might be able to just work with the provider.
Right. We use a thing.
Yeah, we've got a very secure internet connection.
We use a thing called OpenVPN, which was not easy to set up, but you know, if you have some technical person who likes a challenge. But there are lots of commercially available VPNs. And in fact, when we recently replaced our network router, it came with a VPN function, which we didn't enable because we already had one, but that's another thing that can happen.
Did you have another thing that you wanted to say, Davyne, or is just your hand up?
I'm sorry.
Okay, gotcha.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thanks, Sandy. Anyone else got anything on their mind that they've been want to bounce off at the group? Okay. Ursula has a visitor now, so I don't know if she's ever going to come out. We might have to wait for her for next week. I appreciate everyone meeting today. This was a really nice meeting. And I'll give one more shout out if anyone has a last minute thing they want to talk about. Nope. Okay, cool. Well, thank you again, Davyne, for sharing your technological prowess. Hopefully we'll all be able to do that a little bit more now. Hopefully people will continue to get vaccinated. Joseph's doing it right now. And then in a couple weeks, we'll have John Almella and Sharon Scott will share their techniques too for remote live broadcasting. So we'll look forward to that. So thank you, everybody, and have a good rest of your day. It was good to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take care.